Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
It's the house!
What's going on? See, look at Blue over there. Look at it. He's standing up over there. He's sitting up. I can see him in the background. Look at that, everybody. Blue is moving around. Absolutely incredible. And Chloe looks like she's upside down or something. I don't know. Anyways, you guys, the this guy's crazy. This Ryan Wayne Routh guy. I don't even know what category to put this guy in. Like, he's he's really into the Ukrainian war. He's like a mercenary trying to go out and hire up crews to help fight for the Ukrainians, and lives in Hawaii. He writes all the time and gets his comments put into the letters to the editor. He one time like barricaded himself with a assault rifle in a building. I mean, this he's all over the place, right? So what I'm talking about, if you are late, is that there was a second attempt on Trump's life. You know, like nobody shot, but the person was there the Secret Service shot him before he was able to shoot. And there is new audio and a couple images that are all blacked out in the Madeline Soto case. So maybe I'll come back on later and we can play that. All right. But I think this is more important than that currently. Yeah, I mean, it's really wild. There's so many different things. We were all looking at his Facebook page, and I quit looking at it. And then apparently a few minutes later, it was completely, two of them were wiped out, right in the middle. I think KK even did a screen record where it like disappeared right in the middle of scrolling down the page, like trying to record his Facebook page, and it goes. And it makes you wonder. I mean, I thought, like, how come Facebook is so dialed in like that to the FBI or something? I noticed his Twitter account didn't get taken down. So why was his Facebook page? What do they have, like a direct dial from the FBI to Facebook to say, hey, guy, we need to shut that one down? It's pretty weird. Which one is the one that's still up? I still don't believe what's planned. I'm not sure what you're talking about. This is a different shooting. Let's see. There is still one up. Yeah, I know where he lives. Yeah, I've got it. I've got his houses mapped out and everything. Yeah. So, all right. I wanted to check something out. Let's listen to the press conference again. It's not that long, and then I'll just kind of get us started. I got my cool crime
from the FBI.
My cool crime scene filter put on it. See how it looks like that? All right.
Presented from the FBI, from the Secret Service, from the State Attorney's Office. We are going to give you
Don't worry about his lip sync. I don't know what the hell they're doing with that.
everything we have. Everything. All right? So when we get done, think about your questions, because we're not going to take a lot. And keep them to the information that you heard. Don't get
That guy kind of sounds like the way I talk sometimes.
into what ifs, and because of this, we're not going to go there. All right? So keep that in mind, and we'll be good. So here we go. All right, 1:30 this afternoon. Call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag, which was great. So
How amazing is that?
we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers. And we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy. After that, we took the the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes that jumped into the car. Now, in the bushes where this guy was is a 8K-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of. So those are being processed right now. The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at.
Yeah. Now, so what they're basically saying here is that, so here's like, hole number 4 is right here, the green is. And that means they went to here while he's walking over there, and then they came over to hole number 6 area. They were heading there anyways, to be ahead of where Trump was on the green. And 6 is here and 7's there. So that means they're in this area. And they must have spotted the guy around that time. Just put it on Facebook, Truth Sleuth. I can get it there. I don't know what the thing that you sent me was. No, he's a Ukrainian. Yeah, he's just all over the place, this guy. I don't see it, man. I'm just wasting my time looking around. Did you send it? Okay, I don't see it. Let's get back to this.
And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. So that's what we know about the investigation. We have somebody in custody right now that is a potential suspect. We got a little bit more work to do on it, but as we usually do, as soon as we decide that we're going to book him into the county jail and the charges that he's going to be booked into, we'll get those to you and we'll get a picture of him and we'll get you his background. So now I'm going to turn it over to the representative of the Secret Service, and he's going to make a brief statement.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I first want to thank all of our law enforcement partners, to include the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office and the Martin County Sheriff's Office, for their involvement today. Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed following a protective incident shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday at Trump International Golf Club at West Palm Beach. The U.S. Secret Service personnel opened fire on a gunman located near the property line, and this matter is under investigation. I'll turn it over to my partners over at the FBI.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Veltri. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Miami field office. The FBI has assumed the role as the lead federal law enforcement agency in the investigation of the incident.
I just want to go to the questions. You guys mind? These guys are all just, hey, yeah, everything great, thanks. All right, right here.
Okay, we're going to make these pictures available to you. It'll show you a picture of the backpack and the rifle. And there's also a GoPro on the fence there where he was intent on filming what was going on. Even though we're going to have to secure a couple of areas around the golf course here, the public doesn't need to panic. We know that we got a post office, a library, and a school down the street. So we'll make it convenient for you to get to all the places you need to go, get your kids to school, get them over here to the post office or wherever else you need to go. It's safe. There's no more danger here, and we'll make it very convenient for you. So having said that, we're going to take a very limited amount of questions, and you can direct them to who you want to answer the question.
Sure, did this individual make any statements that he was being detained?
No statement right now as far as his involvement in the incident, and there's further investigation to be completed.
What was his demeanor?
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe the service gentleman answered. I misunderstood, or couldn't understand. So there was a rifle. So one of your agents saw on the golf course saw a rifle pointing to a fence with a chain link. Okay, so he saw that, the agent.
That is correct. Yes.
And the president or the former president was on the course behind him. How close?
It was 1 or 2 holes behind.
Understood.
That because the bubble moves through the golf course, so our agents will get there first, clear it. He noticed that the rifle was pointed out. Our agents engaged. We are not sure right now if the individual was able to take a shot at our agents, but for sure our agents were able to engage with the.
Was he hit?
I don't know that.
Doesn't appear so.
Is there a moment?
Yep.
How far away was the president? How far away was Donald Trump when this gentleman was caught and stopped?
Probably between 300 and 500 yards, but with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
For the Secret Service, how far was your agent from the would-be assailant?
That I'm not sure right now. We're still looking into it.
Reports are that 4 rounds of ammunition were fired. Were all 4 of those from your agent?
That is correct. 4 to 6. We're not sure yet.
Was there a long distance? Explaining why?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you guys, don't forget to help support the channel tonight. I know it's not the normal type of show, but it's just like any other show that we're doing. I know we did one earlier, but here's the second one.
I was wondering how this was able to happen, and for future reference, is there any up security in the golf course?
I didn't hear all of that. Say that one more time and talk up a little bit.
So how was this able to happen, and for future reference, is there any up security in the golf course?
Well, you got to understand the golf course is surrounded by shrubbery. So when somebody gets into the shrubbery, they're pretty much out of sight. All right. And at this level that he is at right now, he's not the city president. If he was, we would have had this entire golf course around it. Well,
I mean, it just sounds so ludicrous when he's saying this right here.
Because he's not, security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service.
So yeah, so now he's putting it onto the Secret Service.
Deems possible.
So now it's like, yeah, I mean, it goes right back to the same problem that they had in Butler. Isn't that crazy? Oh yeah, if it was, he's not the sitting president, but but basically it's based on what the Secret Service deems is what he needs. Well, I guess now we're right back to what we had in Butler, where there wasn't enough.
So I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course,
it's not 600
there'll
feet.
probably be a little more people around the perimeter. But the Secret Service did exactly what they should have done. They provided exactly what the protection should have been, and their agent did a fantastic job.
Well, yeah, maybe it could be.
Which direction was the shrubbery where he was? North, south?
He's talking about yards, though. He's talking about yards.
The layout of the golf course,
It's about
you've got 3 holes, 5, 6, and 7.
800 feet.
Right? One of them runs parallel to Summit Boulevard. One of them runs parallel to Congress. And he was in an area in the shrubbery where he could see both holes. So the president was another hole back, which means he's about between 400 and 500 yards away.
So he was on the golf course?
Oh, he's on the golf course, yeah, but he's back a ways.
For the Secret Service, have you guys changed at all the way that you guys are protecting former President Donald Trump? It's now potential second attempt on him. Can you just elaborate on how things have changed and what you make of all this?
Yes, the threat level is high. We have increased the amount of assets that we've supported. So we live in danger times. So yes.
Okay. We're done with questions right now. There's really nothing more for us to add. I just want to tell you, the Secret Service and the FBI and the State Attorney's Office have been fantastic to work with. And I can tell you right now, our agency with this real-time crime center was fabulous. That's how we got the guy. We started out with, we don't know anything, to where we had a tag, we had a vehicle description, and we got an area where we saw the person. So be proud of your law enforcement. All right. Thanks, folks. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, I think my mic was switched again. Hey, thanks, Karen. Before I lose it, I'll just put this on screen. This is apparently something he said. Zozo sent this. I don't know. I can't hear anything, but I'm looking for people. I mean, he was just around trying to recruit people to fight for the Ukrainians. What a weirdo. Ryan Routh was looking for revolutionaries to take this whole system down. This looks so bad. I don't know what he's saying. I can't hear it. Oh, maybe there it is. Let's see. Maybe we can hear something.
You're literally killing the environment.
We're moving on. You go ahead, have your lunch.
No, bro, I'm going to class.
Go to
I'm a scholar.
Go to class. The Ukrainians have a right to fight back.
I don't do paper, though.
I don't care if you do paper or not. I'm looking for revolutionaries. A number of people want to take this whole system down.
Bro, I'm a veteran. Like, do you need me?
What kind of veteran are you?
Bro, I served in Nuketown.
Well, I think it's better to serve and fight in the powers. Fucking over the system.
Bro, give me a Glock and a Hellcat.
Take a look at this.
Bro, but I don't do paper, though. I just told you that.
Come on, dude, then get away. We don't need people who aren't serious. If you're not serious,
I'm serious, but I don't do paper, bro. You're literally killing the environment.
We're moving on. You go ahead, have your lunch.
No, bro, I'm going to class.
I'm
a scholar.
Go to class. The Ukrainians have a right to fight back.
Guy's nuts. Okay. Let's see. See, I don't even know what is this guy? See, here's what I think. You know what I think this guy's motivation was? Is that Trump doesn't want any wars in Ukraine, and Trump is saying he'll end the war, and this guy wants there to be wars, so he takes out the guy that's going to end the wars over there, because he wants there to be. He's out there just really trying hard to get, he wants to be famous and a hero, something like that. Anyways, on the earlier show today, where people were supporting the channel, we had Nikki Zubs, EI Rule, Juju Positive, Ivan Victor, a couple times, Wendy Wibbles, I forgot to mention them at the end, Winnie Humphreys, and then XOXO Coffee, Sybil Bergeron, Ivan Victor again, Sarah67, Gnome, Elizabeth Capone Cook, Patty, Sandy Shirley, and Sandy Shirley. All right. Well, thank you. So we're doing a show right now tonight. So if you guys have the ability to help support this channel, I know we're not doing the Madeline Soto audio right now. I always get like second dibs on it. I never get it right when it's, ready to go. So if you guys can help support the channel, and we're going to go over this right now. Maybe later I'll get to that. And look at that. Karen gifted 5 memberships to E.G. Moore, Jeanette Pupco, Rusty Nuts, dumbest name in the history of the worlds. And then, let's see, the Double Agent. You said Worlds Gray, yes. The Heartland Soul. There you go. All right, so first thing I want to do is, I think what we're seeing an image here, maybe this one right here, where they got tape over there next to, and this is exactly where I thought this stuff was, and they're kind of like looking right in there, So I'm going to see if I can find this by using these images here. And I think it's right, I think it's on this side over here. I think it's right over in there. So I guess one way to do it would be to come look in here, and I don't know if, you know, it's going to work, what I was going to try to do. But I was thinking of maybe looking at the, it's kind of like the reverse image though. There's this white stuff that's on there. Let me see what happens if you go over to this other side. Is it all black, dark at the bottom there? So you can just walk. Oh, there's the fence. There's a fence there. Huh. That's sort of interesting. I wonder if it's right in that area. Could you see very well from right there? You know, like over to that tee box. Well, anyways, I think it's right in this area. I just can't tell 100% from these shots, you know, exactly where, you know, I didn't get a wide enough shot of the image. It looks like this just closed down, so I gotta reopen this. Boy, that sales pitch really worked. Yeah, I think it was, my opinion is it's right over here. Except it doesn't look like there's an easy way to get in, but all you have to do is just make your way through the bushes. And the bushes that we're looking at look like they're really solid. Let me just look down here a little bit. And I took a picture of the television. Hey, thanks, Sino. Man, those are huge trees. You don't think of them like that. But man, they're massive. Although this street, well, the street view is from March, so. God, I don't know, that looks, you know, that looks like this might be the spot right here, if you look at it. See how on this one it's kind of low down in there? Then you have that whole side that's dark. You know, maybe that's like this one. And then that one looks pretty consistent with how that is. It's just not, it's hard to see. But I mean, it looks like there's some coloring down at the bottom. Wait, maybe that one right there. Hold on. Let's look at that one. And then compare it with... was that one? Kind of interesting. And then what's the next one? Next one doesn't, it goes all the way down to the ground. It's weird, these things look like they're like redwood trees. I mean, they're huge compared to these people. Now what do they got, gnomes out there? Thank you, Kathy Friedenmaker. Oh, there's a storm drain? Let me look, I missed that. Yeah, right there. Okay. I see it. Oh, maybe it's that first one that I saw then. If we use that, let's see if that one is the one. Okay, so then it would be right here in the corner. And maybe they're offset from the tree so it looks like it. So it'd be kind of like... Man, I just wish I had the, like the original video to be able to tell. These were kind of I mean, I'm not sure why it almost looks like a negative. See how it's light like that? Definitely looks consistent with the bushes and the trees and everything. And is there another one? There's another one down here, so let's see. Maybe we'll find it. There's another storm drain right down there. And that one would work too. In that position. I think I can already tell that that one looks pretty good. That one looks good right there. Here, watch. Okay. Yep. See, look. That one right there is this one. That one is this one. Oh, yeah. It even has the same pattern on it. Look at this shit. See that? Now, let me zoom in on this. That's wild. I've already done it to zoom in. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's already zoomed in. So if you take that and you just look at it, see how that has the same dark right there and that, and 100% everything's the same. So it's kind of a negative almost. But then this one looks like a horse hoof right there, you know. See, right there. Then the next one to the right has that white dot right there, white dot. So they're right inside of there, okay? And thanks for the storm drain thing. That helped out a lot. But I was pretty much in the right spot, just a little bit too far down. So I would say right here is where the shooter, that's what they're doing. They're going into the woods there. Thanks, you know they exist. Yeah, and see, this makes sense too. This is like, he probably was going to try to get him when Trump was coming around, was going to come around and make his way to this next hole. Because you couldn't really see from there to the fifth green. But it seems like right over here would be better. So, I don't know, maybe that's just where they're entering in. And they're walking along there. And then here's what they found. I haven't seen the clearest shots of them, but it's not bad. Backpack hanging. And it looks like, I would think that this is sort of out towards the street, maybe. And then this is the photos being taken from inside the fence line. Something like that. I don't know, it's hard to say because it looks like there's a GoPro that he was going to film what he was doing. Yeah. Yeah, so it's right there. I predicted the shooter would be over in this area on the first live that we did. But looks like a little bit farther to the left over here. Okay, so now let's go over some of this old stuff. There's just so much of it. Yeah, one Facebook page is gone. I don't know where the other one is. Truth Sleuth never sent it. So I don't know which one's still there. But look at all these crazy things, like just something like this. You know, I went to newspapers.com for God's sakes. Maybe we'll start with that. Like this is January of this year, just in a regular paper in the Hawaii, he says. With the many new speed bumps, it is obvious that we have the capacity and know-how to patch a road properly. Unfortunately, none of the bumps line up with holes. Repaving seems way too complex for us, but can we simply apply our speed bump technology to large patches? That actually is a long-term repair instead of just a spoonful of asphalt. Tires are flattened in Kailua and all the way to Haliwa. People drive like they are drunk to avoid all the road issues. Sections in Kawa and Punalu are at sea level with no rock barrier, so the road must be cleaned weekly, and the Waikane stream foods at every rain, and yet we do nothing. I mean, he's got like 100 of these things. And then here's another one that was, I'm not sure what year this was, but it says, Ryan Routh, the owner of Camp Box Honolulu, which builds storage units, so he's in construction, he does that, and tiny houses, said his donation of a tiny house allows him to use his expertise to address a larger problem. As a community, if we can all come together and put our resources together, what party does this seem like? It would be extremely beneficial, Routh told the Star Advertiser on Sunday. All of us are tired of seeing the homeless people all over the island with nowhere to go. He's particularly inspired to provide housing for the ones that have pets and animals. The vast majority of these people are asking for a plot of land that they can call their own. Yeah, are everybody? Yeah, I'm going to go back to 1990. He's in newspapers.com here. He lived in North Carolina before Hawaii. Right? And this is in Greensboro. That's where he lived. Let's see. The big dormer on the front of the East Besame Avenue house is painted Charleston green. It looks more black than green when in the shade. That as it should be, Ryan Routh explains, because Charleston green is black with a drop of green in it. In the back part of the house, inside, blah, blah, blah. He just goes on, and it says, in the winter, 1989, Laura and Ryan Routh, that name, Laura, is on his Ben Verified account, so it's him too. And further proof, newlywed and new to the craft of home renovation, moved into the dilapidated bungalow house that cost them $70,000 and had been vacant for most of the previous 12 years. You know, so he was into renovation, right? So this is a house that he renovated, blah, 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 blah. You know, but he's in the paper more than a normal person. Like, he likes it. You know, so finding the proper plumbing fixtures was a tremendous feat, Ryan Routh promises. You know, so he fixes up homes. I'm just putting in all the times that I noticed him. In 1991, oh, that's him right there. Look how crazy that is. He's in the paper just sitting there. This is when he's like 27 or so, maybe. 25. You know what's weird is it said he's 60 years old, but if you look him up on Ben Verified, it says 60, but when you go to his birthday, he's 58. You know, so I don't know what the hell they're doing there. I'm just taking it easy, said Ryan Routh, as he got a little reading Monday afternoon in Phil G. McDonald Plaza in downtown Greensboro. Weird. Just randomly gets in there. Okay, he wrote this one here. This is another letter to the editor. I mean, this one's just really about, you know, seawall exemptions and just crazy shit, but he's just so, he's an activist, basically. He's an activist, and he also turned into a, like a mercenary. Oh yeah, so he did this weird. I don't know what's going on with the skateboard park. High school built plywood floors and ramps. At first, the founders didn't charge to skate. They only required skaters to sign a waiver. On some days, as many as 30 to 40 young people came to skateboard. The number is for the county planning and zoning office. The director, Mark Kirster, and his assistant, Bob Bensini, were out of the office. According to Routh and the teens, the county planning and zoning staff showed sympathy when they inquired about what they had to do to start the park. The teens, let's see. I'm going over the next page. Yeah. There was something about it like it got closed. A5. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think he's in here somewhere. I think he came with the name Blue, Karen. But hey, guys, we're on one of those dead nights again, so if you could help support the channel, that'd be great. Dead as a doornail. Let's see. Where was this? Is it that one or this one? Oh, here's the park. Yeah, so Routh says the staff explained zoning provisions. When one of my constituents calls me and asks me questions, Yao says it's my responsibility. Let me put his name in here because he's in here multiple times. Let's see. Ryan, maybe? Yeah. We thought we covered everybody, but we didn't go far enough, Ryan Routh said. The teenagers had never applied for a building permit required of structures, even open ones. But Ryan Routh says he brought in a structural engineer who concluded the park was structurally sound. The teens also say they hired an adult supervisor, a man who works for Ryan Routh business, United Roofing Company. So he was really into construction and roofing, but he's in the paper more times than, you know, it doesn't even seem reasonable. Like, it's just way, I mean, he's just out there. I bet he's in newspapers.com like 100 times. And he's not really an interesting person. That's the part that's... Look at this crazy one here, though. So I wonder if this is the same rifle. Because right here it says, Ryan Routh, 36. This is a 2002 article. So you had 12 to 36. That's 58. That's how old he is. He's not 60. Ryan Routh, 36, was arrested without incident at 1 a.m. Monday at United Roofing. Again, there he is. He's in the roofing business. In Greensboro, North Carolina. So this is him. Routh was pulled over at about 10 p.m. Sunday during a traffic stop, police said. But he put his hand on a firearm and drove to the United Roofing, where he remained barricaded inside, police said. Routh was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and possession of a weapon of mass destruction, referring to a fully automatic machine gun. Wouldn't that be nuts if that's the same gun? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Routh was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and possession of a weapon of mass destruction. He was also charged with resisting, delaying, obstructing a law enforcement officer, and driving while license revoked. So that's kind of like the one creepy sort of newspaper charge, you know, that you find out there online of him. Yeah, I mean, he's got this incredible... It's really weird, this thing about... I think he tried to take out Trump because he didn't want Trump to stop the war between Ukraine and Russia, because this guy is going out of his way to get people together to fight for Ukraine. I mean, it's really bizarre stuff. Now, this is one he's in the Japan Times, and this is Kiev here. Yeah, he's right there. With Legion growth stalling, Ryan Routh, a former construction worker, see, from Greensboro, North Carolina, is seeking recruits from among Afghan soldiers who fled the Taliban. Routh, who spent several months in Ukraine last year, said he planned to move them, in some cases illegally, from Pakistan and Iran to Ukraine. He said dozens had expressed interest. We can probably purchase some passports through Pakistan since it's such a corrupt country, he said in an interview from Washington. It is not clear if he had succeeded, but one former Afghan soldier said he had been contacted and was interested in fighting if it meant leaving Iran, where he was living illegally. And that's the only time he's mentioned in there. And here's a bunch of his Twitter posts. It says, I have thousands of Afghan soldiers that wish to serve for the Haiti National Police at cheap wages. 1,000 with passports ready to fly. I want to give Taiwan thousands of NATO-trained Afghan soldiers, and I would like to start a Taiwan Foreign Legion to bring in, this is 2023, to bring in volunteers to protect the shores of Taiwan. So he's out there trying to protect Ukraine, Taiwan, and etc. And he probably looks at Trump like he's not going to... You guys want to know the truth about Trump regarding this? He uses, like, if you don't pay, we're not going to defend you, as leverage. There's no way in hell he's not going to defend a NATO ally, even if they didn't pay. But if he doesn't, but if he says in one of the debates, "Oh yeah, I just say that. Of course we're going to protect him." Well, then he's lost all of his leverage. So he knows that. So he's willing to risk political capital by saying and keeping the leverage while he's not the president. It's so obvious. It's almost unbelievable that people don't see it. It's not like he's not going to defend NATO. You know, he just wants them to pay more because they should. You know, the United States gets screwed every year. I would like to offer thousands of economical NATO-trained Afghan soldiers to help defend Taiwan. I would also like to rally global support through Taiwan Foreign Legion so that we can bring thousands of volunteers to Taiwan. He wants to do like a mercenary situation. I am here in Kiev and want to use Independence Park to create a tent city, this is 2022, of all the foreigners here in support to get thousands more foreign civilians to come and support Ukraine. Please call me. Hey, thank you so much, Leslie Bigham. Forget the no-fly zone. Ask Congress to put all American military on paid leave so they can fight as civilians in Ukraine. Tell Congress that you will pay for all weapons, drones, missiles, planes, everything. Give them a blank check, so no U.S. responsibility. I am willing to fly to Krakow and go to the border of Ukraine to volunteer and fight and die. Will I be able to cross the border to fight without a visa? Every citizen around the globe should be running to Ukraine to fight. See, he's more about, he just wants to fight over there. Yeah, it's going to be great. Trump's going to take away my war that I want to fight and I don't like him anymore. That bastard. Simply tell Poland. So hey, Zelensky, listen to me. You know who this guy reminds me of? Hey, are you still out there, True Sleuth? What the hell is that guy? That YouTuber? What the hell was his name? Oh my God, he's a clone of that guy. Who is that guy? Remember the Harvey? This guy's Harvey Carroll. He's the same guy, for God's sakes. Harvey Carroll, my God, it's incredible. He's like a clone. Except Harvey Carroll didn't ever shoot anybody, but this is exactly the stuff that he would do. And hell, he's even over there. He's in Ukraine, I think. And he's always talking about, oh yeah, I know, trying to give advice to leaders and shit, and he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Isn't that amazing? That's incredible. Oh, wow. During the primary this year, he supported... But why would he ever support Vivek Ramaswamy? That doesn't even make any sense. I don't believe that, what you guys are typing in there. I've seen somebody type that in. They said, oh yeah, he voted for Trump in 2016. I could see that, you know, because he doesn't seem like... But I could see him... But Vivek doesn't make any sense. Vivek doesn't want the wars in Afghanistan either. So it doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make zero sense. And then somebody else has said he supports Nikki. He supported Nikki Haley because she was supportive. But why would he ever support Vivek? I know, but why would he ever support? Doesn't make any sense. And by the way, why would he be so angry at Trump? Like, this guy lives in Hawaii, for God's sakes, right? So did he fly all the way over there just to do this, and then he was going to fly back home? He doesn't live here. He lives way the hell over in, or like, I got a pin somewhere. I think I might have lost it though. Yeah. I'm gonna have to open up his Ryan Wesley Rouse. I had all the pins for all of his houses. Unfortunately, now they're all gone because YouTube crashed on me earlier. I mean, not YouTube, Google Earth. All right, here we go. Oh, by the way, aren't you glad that they don't have bases on Hawaii, like really big ones, because it might flip the island over? Remember that one congressman that asked that question about Guam? Wow. Let's see. So you live right there, and he's living here. I bet you. This looks kind of new. What year is this? This is 2019. Look at construction going on. Don't you think he's the one doing that? All around. Here, let's try Google Maps here. Oops. What the hell? How'd that happen? I have no idea what just happened there. That's what I was looking at. Oh yeah, right there. This is what I wanted to do. Alright, now I go back to that, and 2011. Yep, see, look at he's doing construction See how it's totally different? He's renovating his own house during that time there. All right, back to these. Simply tell Poland you will pay for the plane. Hey, Zelensky, hey, listen. Simply tell Poland you will pay for the planes if you offer to pay for the planes from every country it removes their responsibility. I don't get it, man. Buy everything. Forget fighting in Ukraine. What? Fight in Moscow. Take out Putin with a low-flying jet and in Putin's bed at night. Oh my God, this guy's just a wacko. I am an American coming to fight with you in Ukraine, he says on March 13th. I am flying into Krakow and will take any transport to Kiev to meet you. Hey, he's telling Zelensky. See, this guy right here wants to be. I know exactly what this guy is. This guy. That's why he's in the paper all the time. He wants notoriety and fame. He just wants it so bad. He wants it. And now he's trying to get a hold of Zelensky and have Zelensky respond because he wants to be known for something. He just wants to be known so bad. Hey, I'm flying in. Hey, come on, get to know me. I'm awesome and everything. And then it's not working. None of it's working out for him. So then he says, you know what, I'll be famous a different way. And he attempts to take out Trump. That's what I think this guy is. Now, there might be more to it behind the scenes, but this guy, for years has just been nuts. That's hole number 5. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. I am willing to come to Ukraine to fight, respond, and I will. So look at, there you go. See, he's talking to somebody else. Hey, Tara, I'm not sure who that person is. Liked your interview. I am willing to come to Ukraine to fight, respond, and I will come. Okay, because if you don't respond, I'm not coming. I'm just full of shit, but as long as you can make me popular, I'll come. Leaders, please arm every civilian in Ukraine to fight and put every military and private military on paid leave to go and fight as civilians. What? I am willing to go and fight and die to beat Putin. We need a civilian army. Come on, people. We cannot sit around and do nothing. World, please send every weapon on the planet to the Ukrainian people. We need a gun in every civilian's hand. And put every military personnel on paid leave. And put every military personnel on paid leave. What does that even mean? Make them a civilian? Is that what I don't get it. And give them or anyone a ride to the border to fight. I will go and fight and die to take out Putin. Every country around the globe should be sending every weapon they have to Ukraine to put a gun in the hand of every civilian. And they should put all military on paid leave. Yeah, you said it already. He wrote that to support Ukraine. He wrote that to Ukrainian. And then he wrote to Biden. Hashtag Biden. Listen. Hey, Biden, listen. Come on, listen. Please send every weapon we have to Ukraine. Please put all our military personnel on paid leave. Oh, our military. So they can go and fight for Ukraine. As civilians, if they wish. But we need them to fight. Are you actually working for Putin? For some unknown reason, if Biden goes, that's a great idea. He puts all of our civilians on leave, and they go over there, and guess how many soldiers we have protecting ourselves? Absolutely nothing. Nobody. We cannot sit around and do nothing. We cannot lose this war. We must put an end to Putin. I will go and fight. Well, as long as you're there, man, we're in good hands. Come on, people. We cannot sit and do nothing. I'm willing to go fight and die for Ukraine. We must all join. He's got like one message and 3 shares. People are like, who the hell is this lunatic? Media must motivate the entire globe to act. It is criminal not to act. We must all fight aggression now. Kids will die. Ally asking a great question, or Ally asking a good question. Who will help? Apparently, no one. The entire world is sitting around and allowing a war to happen. Well, what do you mean? You're stopping the war? You want people to go over and fight? I'm willing to go to Ukraine and fight and die. We must create a massive civilian army. Why cover a war if cannot encourage change? Save lives. This guy seems like a lunatic. We need to burn the Kremlin to the ground and put an end to Putin. Let's go, people. I am ready to go to Ukraine and fight and die for the kids and families of Ukraine. We all cannot sit around and do nothing. We need to flood Ukraine with civilians from around the globe for a massive... You know what he should do is, go around to all the McDonald's. Maybe there's some people there that would, give him a couple extra dollars. I know, this guy is... I need your help. I'm willing to fly from America to fight as the McDonald Army. There you go. To fight as a civilian. But I need someone to respond and help with a media campaign to encourage others around the globe to join the fight. We cannot turn our backs. Please respond and let us change the war. All right, can you guys hit that like button for me? We have 270 likes, 821 people watching. And if you're out there and you have the ability to help support this channel, that'd be great. It allows us to keep doing the shows. And at the end of each month, we give away thousands of dollars from the income from the channel to go out and make a difference with a DNA fund, a scholarship fund, and various charities that we support. It doesn't happen, though, without your guys' help. And tonight, for some unknown reason, we're having one of those slow ones. Nobody knows why. I need your help. I'm willing to fly from America to fight as a civilian, but I need someone to respond and help with a media campaign. You just want somebody to respond. That's all you care about. To encourage others around the globe to join the fight. We cannot turn our backs. Please respond. Please, can someone respond? I'm willing to fly to Ukraine to fight and die, but I just want somebody's attention. And after that, I won't do a damn thing, but I just want your attention now, so I'm trying to say more and more ridiculous things so that you'll say something back to me. But would you please say something, for God's sake? Come on, people, respond. I'm willing to fly to Ukraine and fight and die. I need your help, anyone out there. I'm willing to go to Ukraine and fight and die, but I need you to help me with a media campaign to encourage others around the globe. God, he just keeps going. And there's Karen again. So for tonight, you guys, we are at, let's see, what are we at? 62. And Karen has done almost all of it by herself. So if you're out there and you can help, that'd be great. Of course, there's Leslie Bigham, Roosevelt Media News, and Chin Q, and Kathy Friedenmaker, and a few others. Peggy Day. Did you check all the water towers yet? No, not quite yet. Let's go, people. We must all go to Ukraine. I mean, the guy just is like a robot. He says the same thing over and over. I'm coming to you. Hey, dumbass. I'm coming to Ukraine from Hawaii. Ah, see, isn't that interesting? To fight for your kids and families and democracy. We need to get every single human around the globe to come to Ukraine through media storm. I will come and die for you, but we need media coverage. Where do I report to fight? Come on, global citizens, we must go to Ukraine and protect the lives of the children and families there. We cannot turn our backs. I am willing to fly to Ukraine and fight. I mean, this guy's wild. I mean, come up with some different wording, every once in a while. Is there any more? I'm willing to fly to Ukraine and fight. But we need the media. Okay. We must all go to Ukraine and fight. We should all be racing to Ukraine and fight. We all need to go to Ukraine and fight. I'm willing to fly to Ukraine. Come on, people, we must go to Ukraine and fight. We need a media campaign to get our people from around the world. I'm willing to go to Ukraine and join the fight, but I want someone to join me. We must all go to Ukraine and fight. I'm willing to fly. Oh, man. Okay. If you have funds, I'm not well of a flight to Ukraine is 2,500. I'm not well off. A flight to Ukraine is 2,500 one way. If you have the means of raising funds, I will get on the next flight. Okay. Sounds like Greeno. I'm willing to fly to Ukraine and fight, but I need someone else to join me. Please, we need to flood Ukraine with people from around the world. I am flying to Ukraine to fight. Tell me what to do. I think we need a media campaign to flood Ukraine with citizens. I am flying to Ukraine to stand for peace. To stand for peace. You want everybody to go over there to fight and have guns. I wish media should encourage everyone to join Ukraine to prevent World War III. Well, to prevent World War III, you actually stop the war. That's it. And at this point, you kind of have to let Russia have something and Ukraine have something, and that's it. There isn't, you can just keep battling and increasing, and then it's eventually going to draw the rest of the world into something that nobody wants to be part of. That's my opinion. Russia has nuclear weapons, where it's not like, if you push them too far, well, that's not good. And you start giving Ukraine weapons so they can bomb in the middle of Russia, then all of a sudden, you've crossed a line. And I can tell you that Putin's line won't be like Biden's, where he moved the line over and over and over again. All I can say is don't. Can you possibly arrange to meet me with Kang Gyung-hwa? I would be more than happy to fly over and sit and talk. Biden may tie your hands, but would you not like to be instrumental in improving the lives of everyone around the world and be the hero that solves? That's it right there. See, that post right there is who he is in a nutshell. And he thought that taking out Trump, he would be that person. There you go. That's it. Right here. He thinks that be instrumental in improving the lives of everyone around the world and be the hero that solves this. That's it. He thinks, and that's exactly the rhetoric that's put against Trump is exactly, this guy right here is exactly the person that would respond to something like that. He's looking at Trump. Oh man, you're a buddy of Putin. That's what they say. So it might not be in this case that he is worse than Hitler, etc., but he likes dictators and he's a big buddy of Putin, and he's gonna, destroy the lives of the Ukrainians, etc., etc. So he thinks by taking out Trump, he'll be saving or doing the world this great thing, and he'll be a hero to so many, because then the war will be allowed to go on. How weird is that, huh? Thank you, Susan Chamberlain. That's it, though, right there, man. If you were just going to encapsulate this guy's mentality, there it is. We could kind of see it. This is before those other posts, but that's what he wants to be, that hero right there. That's what it's all about for him. 100%. All right, let's see the video that this is the Ryan Routh Facebook page. It's gone now, but see this guy. So let's see what it says in some of these. This one is from soldiers. Please do not call me. We are still trying to get Ukraine to accept Afghan soldiers, and hope to have some answers in the coming months. If you are interested in fighting in Ukraine, you must have a passport and send it to me by way of WhatsApp. You must also have the money to purchase an airplane ticket to Moldova. If you cannot afford the cost, you cannot go. We are also trying to get Taiwan to accept soldiers, hopefully in the coming years. Please have patience, Ryan. This guy's delusional, man. I think he's schizophrenia. Hey, thanks, Lisa Valenzuela. Thanks for thinking of me, man. Now, let's see. Let me go through here. Can I scroll it back just a little bit? Soldiers, we are working on getting invitation letters from Ukraine and a path, but soldiers must be able to apply for their own visas and pay for all travel and expenses to go to Ukraine, and cannot ask any questions at all. Hey, everybody, just fly there and start fighting. This guy's a lunatic. Hey, let me ask you this. Would anybody go anywhere if you say, listen, listen really quick. We're working on getting these letters, okay? But in the meantime, you need to be able to get your own visas and pay for all the travel there and expenses and everything to get to Ukraine. And by the way, you cannot ask any questions about it at all of any Ukraine contacts. It will still take 6 months to a year. I do not have the time to respond to hundreds of Facebook messages. How dare you? Send your passport and CV by, I mean, whatever. That's just so ridiculous. I don't know, Captain Kirk. I haven't seen you ask any questions yet. So I guess when you ask one, you haven't seen you ask one question. Hey, thank you so much, Ray. I guess that's the letter right there. Now look at, he's got a lot of isn't this Islamic writing here? Maybe there's the Afghanistan. Yeah, there we go. We are currently need Afghan Special Forces soldiers that speak perfect English. Send me your passport, military certificates, and CV in one file by WhatsApp. Oh, Jesus, this guy. This is November. China's newest round of biological warfare on the free world is called Mycoplasma pneumonia, created by their scientists Xi Zheng something to eliminate as many democratic civilians as possible coming from inside sources in China. We must move away from Chinese goods made from slave labor and defend Taiwan and South Korea. What this guy is, you know how there's a hard left and a hard right? He's both of those things. He's right on the thing. Like if you were you could draw a circle, right? And there's hard left and hard right, and eventually they meet each other. And that's what this guy is. He's like a weird, creepy mix of just nutjobness. Below is a link for the application for Ukraine. Please fill it out. Because, you know, there's a lot of Republicans that want the war. They want the war in Ukraine, you know, like people like Cheney and those guys, the warmonger types. And, you know, here's what I am. I am for the United States going to war when we get attacked or we're defending an ally from a unprovoked aggression. Okay? Like after 9/11, I'm for doing something. You know, going after who did it. Going into Iraq was, you know, a little too much, really. Because Saddam Hussein had absolutely nothing to do with the bombers. He did, however, in 1993, he's the mastermind behind the first attempt to take down one of the World Trade Center bombings with Ramzi Youssef, etc. Those guys, right? But I don't know. I'm just more like, if you know, go after the people who did something to you, and go at them with all the might that you have, so that they will think twice of ever doing it again. I don't even know who the hell you're talking about. I don't really give a shit about your Butler County crazy, you know, Trump conspiracy theory that there's this other guy that really was the guy up on top of the building. It's insane. All right. Ukraine has agreed to start with 100 soldiers and work up to 3,000 or more, but considering you have to send me a full file with a copy inside of your passport, CV in English, and all your military certifications, we don't want your pics, but just put them in one file to my WhatsApp. I mean, who the hell would send something like that? You know, let's all sign up for war on WhatsApp. Ukraine has agreed to start with 100 soldiers and work up to 3,000 or more, but considering you have to send me a full... Oh, geez, I don't know what this guy's saying. Oh, I can't play that. Yeah, then it just sort of stopped right here. You couldn't scroll down anymore because they turned off. See that? This content is available. Right in the middle of her recording it, Facebook shut down this guy's account. Yeah, so this is the guy right here on Been Verified. So he's got like, I've looked at some of these email accounts. He's got 10 phone numbers, 9 email accounts, address history, all of these places, but that's where in Hawaii he lives right now, but it was North Carolina before that. Greensboro back in the day. Let's go, we could check this one out. This is the last place. Well, there's another one down here that's 2018 and 19 there. It's also, that's in Ohio. Not sure what that is. That house probably is only worth about, like, you know, 100,000 or 200,000 maybe. I'm just guessing, but over here it'd be like $1 million or something. I mean, that thing is huge. Brick, 2 fireplaces. Hey, Captain Kirk, nobody's interested in you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I don't care if you have the slick little, boom, 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 your little comebacks and everything. It's just not interesting to me. You're an uninteresting person. Just letting you know. I mean, you can pretend that you're interesting, but you're just not. You cover details well, but I'm blind to the facts. Wouldn't you guys say that I'm the least blind to the facts YouTuber that there is? You guys? I mean, seriously. Out of all the YouTubers out there, wouldn't you say that I'm the least blind to the facts? Now, we don't call it map time over here. That's what the other wacko YouTuber calls it. We don't do that. This is just, I use Google Earth, and I use it all the time, and I map out all the time, because mapping is really important. It's not some gimmicky term like map time. It's actually almost the most important element. Yeah. The same people that have trigger bunnies use terms like map time, okay? Yeah. Don't worry about it, Johnny. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Jesus. You guys are absolutely nuts. I think the people that keep talking about Uric and these people in the Trump assassination are similar to the shooter here. Their minds are delusional, where they get to the point where at some point they're going to believe something and act out irrationally. It's just wild. You're one step from this guy. Very close. But hey, what's going on, you guys? We're currently at 30% of a goal tonight. Any chance of you guys getting there? This is what we do on the show. You guys know how it works. Every single night we try to get to goals, and at the end of the month we make a difference, and it allows me to keep doing the shows every single night throughout the year. Right. This kind of event brings out a lot in some folks, and I'm not sure they know it either. I know, no, I haven't been reading the comments. I've been going over what we're going over. Oh yeah, there was one more. Yeah, that stolen valor thing. I'm not sure what he was. They arrested Ukraine by thousands, many of them Americans, who promised to bring military experience, money, or supplies to the battleground of a righteous war. Hometown newspaper hailed their commitment, and donors backed them with millions of dollars. Now, after a year of combat, many of these homespun groups of volunteers, so he's one of these guys, are fighting with themselves and undermining the war effort. Some have wasted money or stolen valor. Others have cloaked themselves in charity, whilst also trying to profit off the war. One retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel from Virginia is the focus of a U.S. federal investigation into the potential illegal export of military technology. A former Army soldier arrived in Ukraine only to turn traitor and defect to Russia. A Connecticut man who lied about his military service has posted live updates from the battlefield, including his exact location, and boasted about his easy access to American weaponry. A former construction worker is hatching a plan, that's him, to use fake passports to smuggle in fighters from Pakistan and Iran. And in one of the more curious entanglements, one of the largest volunteer groups is embroiled in power struggle involving an Ohio man who falsely claimed that he had been both a U.S. Marine and a Longhorn Steakhouse assistant manager. The dispute also involves a year-old incident on Australian reality TV. Such characters have a place in Ukraine's defense because of the arm's-length rule of the United States has taken. The Biden administration sends weapons and money, but not professional troops. That means people who would not be allowed anywhere else near the battlefield in a U.S.-led war are active on the Ukrainian front, often with unchecked access to weapons and military equipment. Maybe that's how this guy got one of those AK-47s. Man, that was the worst like sales pitch I've ever had on here. I mean, like, tonight's just been dead as a doornail again. Hey, thanks, GSO Kraken. We'll have to go check that out. Let's see. Many of the volunteers who hurried to Ukraine did so selflessly and acted with heroism. Some have lost their lives. Foreigners have rescued civilians, aided the wounded, and fought ferociously alongside Ukrainians. And thank you very much. Appreciate it. GSO Kraken. All right. The New York Times reviewed more than 100 pages of documents from inside volunteer groups and interviewed more than 30 volunteer fighters, fundraisers, donors, and U.S. and Ukrainian officials. Some spoke on the condition of anonymity. That's one of the hardest words for me to say, but it just came out so perfectly. Right, Sam, right. Let's see. The interviews and research reveal a series of deceptions, mistakes, and squabbles that have hindered the volunteer drive and began after Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, when Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called for help. Every friend of Ukraine who wants to join Ukraine in defending the country, please come over, he said. Thousands answered the call. Some joined military groups like the International Legion, which Ukraine formed for foreign fighters. Others took roles in support or fundraising with Kiev. A Million Lives. One of the best-known Americans on the battlefield is James Vasquez. Days after the invasion, Vasquez, a Connecticut home improvement contractor, announced he was leaving for Ukraine. His local newspaper told the tale of a former U.S. Army staff sergeant who left behind his job and family and picked up a rifle and rucksack on the front line. Since then, he has posted battlefield videos online at least once, broadcasting his unit precise location to everyone, including the enemy. He used his story to solicit donations. I was in Kuwait during Desert Storm and was in Iraq after 9/11, Vasquez said in a fundraising video. Vasquez in fact was never deployed to Kuwait, Iraq, or anywhere else, a Pentagon spokesperson said. He specialized in fuel and electrical repair, and he left the Army Reserve not as a sergeant, as he claimed, but as a private first class, one of the Army's lowest ranks. Sounds like Walls. Stolen Valor. But hey, thanks again, TJ, I'll say. Alright, we don't know who this guy funds or anything. You're in big trouble. Hey, thank you. You're in big trouble. Ukrainian officials initially boasted of 20,000 potential Legion volunteers. Anyway, he's in here. Let me just go to the Routh portion. Wait, what is it? Ryan, right? Oh, Routh, not Routh. Within Legion growth stalling, Ryan Routh, a former construction worker from Greensboro, North Carolina, is seeking recruits from among Afghan soldiers who fled the Taliban. See, we went over that earlier, but isn't that just crazy? And then all of a sudden, this guy who's doing all these different things shows up near Mar-a-Lago, creeps through a fence, has an AK-47 that he may have gotten from a, somebody, an Afghanian soldier. And he tries to, this event today, you guys, is no different than the Butler, Pennsylvania. It just so happens this time, remember in the Butler, Pennsylvania, the first Trump shooting instance? when the SWAT guy on the ground shot up and hit the gun of Crook's. Basically, what this is today is that guy shooting Crook's rifle just before he got his first shot off. That's the only difference here. Okay? That guy never got a shot off today because somehow the Secret Service sniper saw his gun sticking out from a fence and shot it, and then the guy ran. It's exactly the same. It's almost worse to me in terms of planning. I mean, let's just go back and look at this. I mean, I wouldn't say it's worse. I mean, I'm just saying some elements of it are dumb. So here's the golf course. How hard would it have been to post a Secret Service agent right there, another one right here, and one maybe at this corner, then another one right there, right here even, and have them look this entire way, and then this one, just like 6 people could have watched the whole perimeter around here to make sure nobody came creeping across to get into the golf course. Instead, you allow people to come in to the edges and you just follow them around inside the golf course. That just seems like Mickey Mouse shit, doesn't it? It's insane. And if you missed earlier on the show, we were able to determine that where they seemed to be focused in on was right in this exact location. I'll show it to you again. Somebody astutely pointed out that there was a grate on the ground. I missed that element. Usually something I would see, but didn't see it this time. If you go down here and we open up, this is where they were in the woods. See how they're kind of back there? And look how crazy this is. Look at right there. Just look at that. And that's almost perfect. Those images right there. Can you see that? Just compare this tree to the little markings there, and you'll see it's exactly the same. Pretty amazing. I wonder if you went down here a little bit further like that, and then can I go like that and then put that on the screen. Yeah, it almost can line up the trees. Look how crazy this is. Watch this. That's what I was trying to do. Now notice up here, see that? All these trees above are lining up almost, that's pretty amazing right there. So if that was just a little bit bigger, let's see if I made this. Yeah, about like that. And that's where they're standing, right in there. So just right through there. So I guess if we go probably and just look. Yeah, right through there. So they crept across and they snuck through the bushes. It's weird though because I don't see how they get the image that they took. So that might be a separate entrance point, or because look where the backpack is. Notice how there's light all over the place. How would you get that light? So maybe this is what we're looking at. This is the inside of the fence. So I think I know what we're doing here. So when the person came in, they go through the fence there, go through these bushes, and then there's a fence in there, like on the tree line inside of here, and they're basically right in there, and they're filming this direction like this, and that's what we got in this picture right here. So this light area is the golf course out there somewhere, and inside here is the fence inside the trees looking out. And look at the GoPro is likely pointing out that direction. What do you think? I think that's it. Thank you up there to Ivan Victor, Nate Campbell, and you're in big trouble. All right. What else we got? I couldn't find anything that was interesting. I have a website that I go to that checks emails and phone numbers. Didn't really see anything that was incredibly interesting in there. But what we could do is go to newspapers.com again. And you can see it's just all over the place. Watch. Ryan Routh. Even Ryan Routh is very popular. Like, you never see it. It's really rare. There's only like one or two of them. Let's see, 2005 to 2024, and then put like Hawaii in there. Those are probably more recent ones. But look, he's all over the place. Look at. You know, that's the fuel can be moved, but not the water supply, in response to Ryan Routh's letter saying that so somebody's even replying to his letter to the editor. And here he is again. He wrote this one. No to homeowners seawall exemption. We showed that one. What's this one? He wrote this huge thing here. As a community, if we can all come together and put our resources together, it would be extremely beneficial. All of us are tired of seeing the homeless people all over the island with nowhere to go. This is 2019. I mean, just look. It's almost like he's the only one writing letters to the editor. Why is that right there? Trump's comments on Constitution a betrayal. Jeez. Don't build a new stadium, fix current one. I would beg our new governor to rethink the whole situation, set aside influence from donors, and make a good, logical, economical choice. Only in the world of the filthy rich do we tear down old structures and build new ones. We can't take the money that is saved, and Hawaii is never going to be, it's never going to vote for a Republican, I can tell you that. Hey, thanks, M. Jordan Jarding, gifted a membership to Hound Lover. That's Hound Lover. All right, if you guys find anything on your digging around out there, I'm not sure why he would ever support someone like Vivek, who's completely against the war in Ukraine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This guy is, you know how there's hard left and hard right, and it meets, and he's that guy. I've always talked about that guy, not on the show, but with friends and like just saying, once you go so far right and you go so far left, you meet. There's a place where you're almost the same person. So he's got a little bit of both in there. However, the thing is, what set him off? And what set him off is the rhetoric used against him. What do you mean you don't get it? What part? Yeah, I don't know, but he's got like the, a lot of lefties don't want to be fighting in the war either. It's the establishment Democrats that want to be in the war. You get it? He is like an establishment Democrat or like a Cheney type Republican who wants to be in the war. However, I think he wants to be in the war just for notoriety. I think he's a sociopath who only wants to be, have notoriety, and that's the only reason he's there. And since he wasn't getting responded to, and he wasn't really able to be the guy in Ukraine, he said, I'll make a difference. Here's my one chance at glory, and it was to try to take out Donald Trump. That's what I think. That's my opinion. I think that's what this guy is. Now, he could be part of something else. Yeah, like the far right people and the far left people, when they get so far radical that their radicalism almost overlaps at a certain point. That's what I'm saying. He seems schizophrenic. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. He doesn't know who he is, kind of. Oh yeah, we already went over that article. I found that article really early on because what I do here's what happens, you guys. Like, you know his name, like Ryan Routh. It's not common at all. In fact, there's only like 2 maybe in the United States. I don't know why. I mean, I think Routh is not common. But here's what you do when you're doing a search. Once an event happens and a name is out, it's very tough now because every article that you put in is like that. So what you do when you go to Google Earth, for example, let me show you. You go like not Google Earth, just Google. So you're on Google, and you type. You're just frustrated because you go, oh, Ryan Routh. Let me go look up this guy. Let me look him up. And you look it up, and you're like, oh shit. Okay, yeah, we got this one. They're all just right now, but I want to know what he was doing if he ever showed up at all. So when you go to Tools off to the right, and you go to Any Time, and then Custom Range, and then here you can say something like 1995 to 2018, for example, or 19, let's say, like that. Then you hit go, and now you don't really see him anywhere, right? So look, there is another guy who's a math teacher. Man with gun. This is where I found this one. Man with gun barricades self inside business, December 16th, 2002. See? It's right there. Then maybe that's his LinkedIn. Don't know. That's probably his Facebook. If we click on it and it goes to nowhere, that's probably it. That's a different one. And well, I just lost what I was doing. But anyways, that's how you can go back and look up somebody's name and see what their presence was prior to them being bombarded on the internet, because everybody knows who they are now. I have one interview that he did. I don't know if I have the one that you're talking about, Nate. You'd have to send me the link. I don't know. He just looks like an older guy. I don't think he looks just like him or anything. Yeah, so send me an email if you got that link. Yeah, I already know that, Cindy. What about the golf? Yeah, it was the guy, the shooter, was either assuming Trump was going to be there, or somebody gave him inside information that he was going to be there. Don't know. Yeah. It wasn't like Trump doesn't have an itinerary of where he's going, etc. It's known, but it's not like he just did breaking news, Cindy. Everybody's already heard that. So let me type in, he just repeats what everybody, he doesn't find anything on his own. He just looks on Twitter, and everybody like you laps it up, Cindy. That's probably why you're not here, because you're over there. Let's see. He's got a few aliases that he uses, too. For example, over here, he goes by Ryan and then Routh, like Ryan Routh. Ryan Wesley Routh, that's the normal name. And that's the only one that was a little bit weird. Ryan and then Ruth. I think that's almost like phonetically spelling Ryan Routh. Hey, that looks like my thumbnail. I guess he kind of looks like that guy. Now that I look at that picture right there, Gary Busey. I see that. Yeah, let's see. I forgot how to spell his name. I guess he's a clone. Look at that. Holy shit, you guys. Look at that right there. That's a clone. Holy crap, man. You weren't kidding around. I guess the later one he looks exactly like that guy. I mean, he doesn't look like the younger Busey, though. But yeah, it definitely looks like him now, for sure. Wow. This guy's gone, man. But hey, guys, if you're just getting in here, if you could help support the channel tonight, trying to reach that goal. We're still not even to the point where I can donate the 5 memberships. I'm even adding the earlier show, so I think we're about like 60 short, and then I'll donate 5 memberships.
Likely the same one you showed already.
What is this? Oh, there he is. Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like.
From the U.S. From North.
I'm U.S. Americans.
Please tell me who you are and why are you here?
I'm a
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, you know, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is a storybook, you know, any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where, you know, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another, and it's just a matter of, you know, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another.
With guns? I mean, to go blow other people away?
So that we feed each other and make sure that, you know, we all move forward as one collective whole unit.
That sounds like a liberal right there.
We feel the pain of one country's failure and their conflicts, and we enjoy the successes of,
Thanks,
other
M22.
countries that are doing good, and we all work together. And for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit, and we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous.
What year is this?
Being kind, and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days.
No, it's 2 years ago.
And what are you doing here in Ukraine?
There's a whole bunch of leaders like that.
My initial
yeah, I know,
goal
it's
was to
2022.
come
I just
fight.
said that.
I think, you know, everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army. But I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience, so they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. So they said, not right this minute. So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. You know, we need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians. We need you know, we've got 190 countries around the world, and we need thousands from all of them. If the governments will not send their official military, then we civilians have to pick up the torch and make this thing happen. And we've gotten some wonderful people here, but it's a small fraction of the number that should be here. If we have 5,000, you know, to 10,000 people here fighting, you know, that is just a minuscule amount of the 5 billion people on the globe. You know, we need everyone here fighting. That's why I'm in Kyiv. So every project that I promote is about getting people here to support the Ukrainians. We were at a critical juncture in this war where we are sitting on...
Here, I'm going to pause that really fast. See, look at, they're looking right where we had those trees. Where is it? You said that it was an interview. I don't see it. Is it? It's not. It's just an audio. It's a written interview or what? Okay. My dad went over there and saw people effing fighting and dying. The younger Routh said. Okay. His son, Routh, repeatedly said he had not been able to immediately speak to his father or get information about the accusations against him, so he did not want to talk on his behalf, but he also described his father as passionate about the Ukraine cause. Right, exactly. That's what I'm telling you, that he did this because Trump was trying to, he wants to end the war. See, the thing is about Trump, he just wants to end the war over there. So how is that bad? You know, like, how is that a bad thing? You know, like Putin is not a good human being. He's a bad person, right? He's just a monster. You know, they kidnap innocent people and use them as political, and, you know, they try to gain something from it. And, you know, Russia broke up, but now they want all of it back again. They keep going and trying to get back to their glory days. Oh, yeah, maybe I'd open the lines for that, Ivan, for sure. My dad went over there and saw people effing fighting and dying, the younger Routh said during a brief telephone call when he asked about his father. He tried to make sure shit was cool and shit was not cool, referring to the former president who days earlier at the president debate would not answer whether he wanted Ukraine to win. See, the thing is, Trump can't answer those questions. It's like an attorney or somebody going for the Supreme Court. You can't say those kind of things. If Trump wins, he needs to have leverage. He can't go, oh boy, I want Ukraine to win. Well, what's Putin going to say at that point? So he doesn't do those things. And, you know, idiots like this, and his son's a freaking moron also, just letting you know. Meanwhile, this guy is sitting behind his effing desk, not doing a damn thing. So his kid's just like his dad. He's going to be just like him. I would actually put detail on this guy 24/7. Referring to the former president, who days earlier at the presidential debate would not answer whether he wanted Ukraine to win its war against Russia, Routh said, meanwhile, this guy's sitting behind his effing desk not doing a damn thing. Well, you think, so your dad was doing a damn thing? Going over there and fighting? I mean, it's just ludicrous, okay? A review of posts on Twitter associated with the account under Ryan Routh name also show Ukraine was an important cause to him. 2 posts on that account from August 20. Yeah, well, there's hundreds. He posted a million different times. I don't know what happened in Florida, and I hope things have just been blown out of proportion, because from the little I've heard, it doesn't sound like the man I know to do anything crazy, much less violent, he said. Who said that? In a separate interview with CNN on Sunday, Orrin Routh also called Ryan a loving and caring father and an honest, hardworking man. Yeah, he sounds great. Sounds awesome. Your dad's a psychopath. Let's be honest. Hey, thanks, True Crime Nut. All right, here we go. I'm going to do it. For 50 smackers, man. Why the hell not? Jesus. Might as well, huh? Where is the Zoom? Is that it? Oh. No, not Zoom. It's Skype. There it is. There you go. There you go. No, I don't think that one's him. I mean, it might be. Oh, it is him, I guess. But yeah, I saw that one. The main picture had a Chinese guy in it, so I wasn't sure what that was. Well, anybody can call in about this. Apparently, Ivan Victor was going to call in. Well, there he is right there. The lines are open. It's right there on the screen. You just dial the number. See it? Are you on rewind, Ivan? On those lines. Or were you not even talking about yourself? If you got the balls, make the calls. Boom, I like that one, Sam. I'll give you credit for that one. Hello. Hello.
Are lines open? This is Ivan Victor.
Yep, the lines are open.
How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, not too bad.
I'm a man of my word. Am I not? I'm a man of
You
my
are.
word.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I just think this whole fucking thing is ridiculous. Like, how can a man not even finish his putt without being shot at? Okay? Like, what are we doing here? If this was Obama being shots fired at him, we would be under martial law, having the whole country under investigation, wondering what happened. Okay? We all know that. This isn't, it doesn't even have to be a conspiracy. When you amp up the entire country to say this man is a threat to democracy, or he's the next Hitler, or blah, blah, fuckity blah, okay? It doesn't take much. You don't even need a conspiracy. You just need enough drugged up, amped up people on pharmaceuticals to think this man is the next existential threat to come at the country, and here you go. They start taking shots at him, okay? So you don't even need a conspiracy. You don't even need a rabbit hole. You don't even need all the bullshit.
Well, that's what I've been saying, even in the other shooting. It's like you make a situation where you're calling somebody a threat to democracy, worse than Hitler. He's friends with dictators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you expect, and they want you to believe it, first of all. So they want you to believe that.
Yeah.
So they're really selling it to you that he's that bad. And then they get upset and then they go, hey, there's no place for violence or anything like that. Well, what are you expecting somebody to be doing?
We hate that the next Hitler was, protected.
Right.
Okay. We hate that the
So
next Hitler didn't. Like, let me guess. Like, let me tell you something, Gray. If I thought a man was the next Hitler, I'd want him shot in the neck, live on TV, celebrate fireworks, barbecue, the whole thing, okay? Muskies and murder, okay? Wisconsin live, on TV, live on TV. Bring it on, okay? But that's not what they do. They want both sides of the fence, okay? They want both sides of the whole paradigm. And they're fucking frauds. Okay, they're frauds.
Well, so it's hypocritical is what it is. They say all these things, and then when somebody does something, they pretend that they care. And they don't care at all. I mean, you saw it on the earlier show today. There was many people that were saying that he deserves it in the comment section. Like he deserved, and it's really disturbing. It's weird. It's strange because these people don't really understand the reality and the truth.
Deserve these nuts, okay? Deserve these nuts. That's what they're all about, okay? They are full of hypocrisy. They have no standing to give anybody. They just want the people who have a moral argument to fall. They have nothing to stand on. They are frauds. They are hypocrites. Get them, okay? Trump 2024, anybody who thinks I'm a loudmouth, you're right, okay? I'm a scumbag. I'm a loser. You're right. But guess what? I'm on the right side of history, and you're not. Gray, I love you. I'm going to sign off. I'm out.
I don't consider you a scumbag, man. You're awesome. Thanks. Other when he doesn't do his Russian accent, you know. Other than that. So when somebody's on the phone, there's no lines open, okay? So now there is if you wanted to call in. What was somebody? So here's him, I guess, today. So there was a picture of him being arrested. That's the same guy. So there he is right there. He looks a little bit better, like he's shaved, and but look at his face, like he has resolve. He did the right thing. He's a hero, everybody. He'll bring it the fan letters from the hard left, well, not even the hard left, just regular Democrats, because they love it. They just love guys like that. All right, let's play it.
On the fence, as far as whether good or evil is going to win. You know, right now we're looking at a situation.
Yeah, because he thinks of Trump as another, like a Putin. That's what he thinks. See, what Putin does is he likes to get along with people so that he can cut deals and make things happen. Okay? So when people go, oh, you can't talk. Why is... I used to not believe that, but I think it makes sense. Why can't you try to get along with somebody like Putin and affect a change? Isn't that exactly what Reagan did with Gorbachev? Remember how Gorbachev, he's a Soviet-style dude, and they actually had conversations, and Gorbachev ended up liking and getting along, and then they actually tore down the wall and everything, you know, glasnost, perestroika, all that shit, everything broke up. But Putin was actually under that regime, and he didn't like how everything turned out. But it's like, why isn't it okay to try to get along and have a conversation with and work through things to avoid the effery that we have currently? It's stupid. It's dumb. It's dumb that people don't see it. He doesn't think like, oh, wow, Putin's this great dude, man. He's an awesome person. He probably thinks he's a powerful leader, because he is, right? I mean, he's running Russia, but he doesn't think like, he just wants to get along with him, just like he did with Kim Jong Il. He called him, or is it Un now? I can't remember, but it was, or was it Kim Jong Un? Who's the current one? Jesus, I know it was Kim Jong Il before. I think it's Un at this point, but yeah, Little Rocket Man, he called him. Anyways, the phone lines are open. There was somebody else that called in if you want to call back.
Where the world is waning in its thinking that this is important or not. And we're at a point where, you know, all right, are we going to stand for humanity, for human rights, for everything that is good with the world? Or are we just going to ignore it? You know, if everybody is complacent and doesn't join this fight, then guess who's going to win? It might take 10 years, but we're going to lose this battle if everyone around the globe does not stop what they're doing, get off the couch, and come to Ukraine and defend the human rights of everyone around the globe. This is the most important thing going on in the world today. So sitting around and letting life go on as normal and complaining about gas prices and complaining about, you know, your luxury life in whatever country you live in is unacceptable. As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world.
Yeah. See, what's really weird about this, see, what I'm saying is this guy, the way he talks is extremely, like, liberal, left-wing, like, just almost as if he is talking about free love and peace. The difference is that he is saying the only way to achieve it is through violence. You know, we gotta be battling. It used to be where, see, that's why I'm saying it's so close to, it's so far left that it's becoming far right too. There's a merging place in there. It's weird. It's so strange. Just listening to him, he doesn't make a lot of sense, you know. Hello, this is Gray. Who's this?
Hey, Gray, this is Brandon.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going good. My wife's been listening to you for a couple years now, and she's got me listening, so
Oh,
I
boy.
figured I'd go ahead and call with this whole topic going on.
All right.
So, just saying, we really appreciate everything you do, but, yeah, with this shooter, I'd say we're just very lucky that it got spotted how it did with the position he had set up.
Yeah.
With
What
that
a
rifle
miracle.
even not having a hole. I'm sorry?
It was like a miracle. I guess he just saw like the barrel sticking out of the fence.
Yeah, because with just being a presidential, previous president and everything with the Secret Service he has, they don't have the capacity to really do a lot. So you'll see a lot of stuff like that. But with the chain link fence, that gives him a good stable firing platform that helps study the rifle too. And for military-wise, when they're zeroing in their rifles, they're shooting at 300-meter targets, and that's with an iron sight, not even a scope. So definitely lucky that he was seen like that. And the fact of everything going down, and the only thing that happened was Vice President Harris sent a tweet out. President Joe Biden didn't make an official announcement or anything like that, and that speaks volumes for the climate we're in right now.
No, it's crazy. I mean, hers was just like, hey, we're glad he's okay. But are they really? Because they believe in the same reasons that this guy took him out. Or tried to take out Trump, I mean. You know? So they believe the same things that convinced this guy to go do that.
Yes, definitely, I would say. And they've, even after the first shooting, it was just a couple days after that, they started ranting and raving that it was a threat to democracy again. And it's just, the left has gone far left. We still have a far right, but the ones in between, I don't see the traditional Democrats like we used to have now. It's more just radicalized. And they're really spreading it to the new generation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw like the earlier show, but see, what I try to tell people that the danger for our democracy, I don't even think it's the Democratic Party or the Republican Party as a whole. It's the media who's chosen a side, and then that side then uses the media, and then they become this machine putting out false information that so many people believe over and over and over again. I mean, just
100%.
You know, it's scary. That's the scariest part to me, because now you're looking at something like a socialist country where you have a dictator, because they have the media behind them and they put out propaganda.
Me and my wife have looked it up. The actual owner of Fox News, I believe he's Australian, and he donates to the Democrat Party as well.
Yeah,
so that was interesting.
Well, maybe that's where maybe that's where you get people like Neil Cavuto. You know, I don't know, but that guy's he's like this closet. You know, I don't know if he's a hard. You know, I don't know what he's a closet, if he's like a Cheney type or what. But he's always putting in digs. You know, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I've never paid too close attention to politics until President Trump ran against Hillary. That's when I really started paying attention and taking note of everything. And I would like to think most people can look at the news and make their own opinions based on facts, but it seems like more people are just believing whatever they hear, and they don't look anything up anymore. It's just crazy.
Yeah, like for example, like the left makes a big deal over Trump trying to stop the bill that was being passed earlier this year for the border. But he stopped it because they were only doing it. Plus, you know, there's things in there people didn't really like, right? Because they tied it to like funding for Ukraine, etc. But at the same time, the Democrats were only doing it because they knew it was a losing situation for them in the election. So they wanted to have that as a win. Because why didn't they do anything about it for 3.5 years? They let that border wide open for any Tom, Dick, and Harry to come over. I mean, just running in for years, over 10 million, 11 million people coming in. And it's just it's a catastrophe. So he didn't want it to. All of a sudden, you're going to get a win. I mean, you don't deserve a win for that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know?
As far as the border, we both know why they're doing that. They're wanting to stack the ballots. They already have issues where immigrants are trying to get on the voter registry because they can have a driver's license, and that's a loophole in the system.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, with them just being all about this open border, when President Trump was in office, they're freaking out about COVID. So they're letting undocumented immigrants in now. You have no idea if they've had vaccines or anything like this. So the Democratic Party is just fluid, moving with whatever can drive their agenda.
Yeah, that's the purpose of the open borders, is for future votes. I think the Republicans at some point should, it might take an election cycle, but like somehow be part of solving the border issue permanently, even if it's, and then try to add on to it in the future, but just take it off the table. Because the thing is Hispanic people are naturally conservative minded. And if you take off the whole guilt trip of, hey, we're the ones that let you in, you got to vote for you take that off the table, they're going to lose those votes. So I think it would be like like an election cycle after the one that it was solved in. You know? So you can't just keep, there's all these issues that people keep on the table intentionally. For example, every 4 years they try, African American populations pandered to. They make it seem like they're going to do all these things for them. As soon as the election's over, forget it. Then the next 4 years comes over, and for some reason, the Democratic Party is somehow the one that I don't know how they got the African American or the black vote. I don't really understand it. It makes no sense to me how that happened.
I don't understand. I don't understand how Michigan keeps going Democrat with the voting and all that. Just the amount of jobs that have been outsourced overseas and everything. I really don't see where people's head are as far as setting their own feelings aside and being able to look at what's best for the country. That's the biggest thing you need to look at when it comes to voting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, God, I'm just so frustrated. Like, I mean, on the previous, this isn't my political channel, but here we are again with this shooting. I know, but the thing is, it's a true crime story that wraps into politics, and unfortunately that's just kind of the way it is on these nights, and people get all offended and upset and everything, and it sucks that you get offended by it. We're telling the truth from how I believe it is the truth and what we see. And the thing is for example, on the earlier show, I always tell people about the three things that you always hear Kamala and Biden say over and over and over again. It's the Charlottesville hoax. It never happened. Trump never said that white supremacists are, there were good people on both sides, referring to them. He never said that. He never said he did say that it would be a bloodbath if he wasn't elected, but he was absolutely referring to the auto industry. And then he said, I'll be a dictator on day one, and I'll seal the border off, and then I'll, what was the other one? Seal the border off, and two different things. And drill, baby, drill, right? That's what he said. So then they say, look, he said he wants to be a dictator on day one. Oh, look at that. He said he wants that. There'll be a bloodbath. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And it's just disgusting that Democrats themselves do not call out their own people for telling the same lie over and over and over again. Just like they did about Kamala Harris, just like they did about Biden, his mental decline, just like they did about the Russian collusion, just like they did about the laptop that was Hunter Biden's, but they said it was Russian disinformation. Unbelievable.
Just like how they had a witch trial out for Trump because he said it was the China virus.
Yeah.
And it came out that it actually did come from there.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that? He's something phobic. Can't remember the term. Like, oh my God, he's anti-China because he kept calling it the China virus. And they said that it was likely created in a lab, and everybody on CNN and everybody going, oh God, this guy's paranoid. Yeah, xenophobic. And then Nancy Pelosi came out and said, "Oh, look at that! Look at he's being racist against China. Look at that! Look at that!" And guess what? Just last year or so, I think it was Christopher Wray even said that they all believe that it was created in a lab in Wuhan, China, just like everybody thought that wasn't a dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. The biggest thing is I don't always watch Fox. I'll watch Newsmax, and then I'll flip to NBC and CNN, and I'll just try and see what they have in common.
Right.
The biggest thing is just being able to look for yourself. But the biggest thing that Trump is a threat to them is he's not a politician. He's a businessman. And if you look at his early speeches, way before he thought about running for president, it's just he's always had America first in his mind, and that's the biggest thing. Politicians, no matter what side you're on, they're still a politician. They're working for their career, and they're just doing the dance trying to get the votes because they think that's what the people want to hear. But if you look at what the work they did as a senator, as opposed to how they campaign, it's usually day and night.
And they won't, and they know that he doesn't fit the mold where deals can be cut, and all these little things behind the scenes where he wants to do get the best deal for the people. You know, that's what he's trying to do. So he's not going to agree to certain things that used to always be sort of the wink and the nudge, and they're like, oh my God, this guy isn't going to do this. Oh man, he's a threat to democracy. I guess democracy means...
Well, they think he's been good with Russia. That's not the case. He respects them, and you have to respect them because they are a nuclear country. And that's one thing that gets overlooked in today's day and age a lot, especially if you think of their being allies with China having the hypersonic missile that we can't intercept. Put those two things together, and you can think for yourself what the worst case scenario that could happen. And us arming Ukraine, we're essentially just doing a proxy war. We can't be directly involved because then that's an act of war. And this gunman that got caught, thank goodness, before he probably would have actually hit his target. But I mean, him going for Ukraine and all this, they just don't understand the politics involved in our relations with these other countries.
Just like how weird this is.
The Democrat Party keeps spreading this hate for Trump and everything. He's in a vulnerable position.
Yeah. I've actually was thinking, I mean, every time I watch Trump, every time I see him walking around, I keep thinking, I'm just nervous. Because I was watching live when he was shot at the first time. Like literally on a treadmill, watching him, and I just freaked out. I mean, I was like, oh my God. Because he goes down, right? And you don't really know.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know,
crazy.
Every day you think about it, like, God, is he going to get shot at again at one of these rallies? Is somebody going to come up? And then here it is, you know, totally predictable.
Well, I hope they're really learning and actually having multi-agencies talk to each other, because I do have a buddy back in Ohio that said he did a couple presidentials, and that's essentially exactly how it was. The cops would only be able to talk to the cops, the FBI with the FBI, and it was all separate channels. And they really didn't have cross communication with each other. So hopefully there's a lot of lessons learned and we move forward. But we got to start spreading, like, love thy neighbor, and, you know, just be there, like, for each other instead of divided. Because the biggest thing is this country's getting so divided, and you need to push that aside.
No, I know, I get what you're saying, but it's almost impossible, though. Because the thing is, you've got the left and the right, they're so far, they think so differently. Like when Trump got all those charges, my neighbors were cheering. I mean, literally, I'm in the house, and I hear them, woo, as if it was their college football team winning something. Yeah. How do I go over there? I haven't even talked to him since. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's like, it's embarrassing as hell. They were probably cheering when he was shot at, you know, because that's the mentality. So I don't know how to have sort of a, I mean, I get what you're saying, like the overall, that's how we should be, you know.
Yeah, society as a whole. Like, as far as this goes, I have Democrats in my family. We've had friendly discussions, but it doesn't go anywhere. Just like they say at work, don't discuss politics, don't discuss religion, because there's really no give on that. If you have your beliefs, you have your beliefs. The biggest thing is the younger generation. We just really got to start coming together.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm not one of the younger generations, but
Oh, I'm not there. I'm getting ready to hit 40 soon, so.
well, that's a lot younger than me. Okay.
Well, I still respect you. I appreciate everything you do. Me and my wife watch you a bunch.
Oh, cool. I appreciate it. Well, thanks for calling in.
No problem.
Was your name Brandon? Is that what you
Stay
said?
safe.
Brandon?
I'm sorry?
What was your name? Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon.
Okay. Well, nice. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
All right.
Have a good one.
Stationed in Arkansas. So
All right. Have a good one.
take it easy.
All right. Bye-bye. All right.
And expect the problem to go.
Brandon. Yeah, let's go, Brandon. That's funny. Hello, who's this?
Juliet from Ohio. I go by Chickbait on here.
Chickbait, what's going on?
Not much. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
I watch your show all the time, but anyway, yeah, I was in the chat saying I was the resident lefty, but I'm just being facetious. No, this has been a good conversation. I'm glad you brought all this stuff up.
Yeah? Well, what do you...
This guy's kind of a lunatic, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he sort of makes, like, it's weird. See, he kind of makes sense the way he's talking if you take out the violence part in it. That's what's weird about it.
Yeah.
That's why it's so strange that he kind of wants it to go back to everybody fighting with guns and start shooting. You know.
Yeah. No, I am definitely not I'm not that far left. You know, I'm just like, I think that people right now, like, I did a video about like Trump and, you know, the first assassination attempt. You know, like I care deeply about this country and I just want to preserve like democracy and all that stuff. Like, I'm more concerned with human rights than I am with anything else.
Yeah, but see, when you say like preserve democracies, you're not one of the people that thinks that he's a threat to preserving democracy, right?
A little bit with some of his fan base.
Okay, but
not necessarily himself.
But let me ask you this: don't you think it's more of a threat to democracy where when you have a president of the United States that is absolutely incoherent, really almost, he's been incapable of running the country for probably over 2 years, and you have an entire media complex and a political party who hid the fact that he was like that. And then when they realized that there was going to be debates, what they did was they sort of tricked Biden and Trump really to have an early debate in June because they wanted to have time to show the American people how demented Biden was, because they knew he was going to collapse. And then what they did after that was they started going around, all the little media push. They had actors saying, oh, this guy's crazy. Oh, look at this shit. We need somebody else. And Obama wanted to have an open process where you had other people step in and go through sort of a quick little a primary type thing. They said, oh, we can't. And then Biden said, no, I'm backing Kamala. So they go, okay, we're going to do that because she has the money. So they appointed her instead of having any process at all.
I'm willing to get into that. I don't understand why they kind of like appointed her. I agree. No, I did not vote for Biden. I'm not a Democrat, and I'm proud of that. And like, I'm kind of introducing my angle here. You know, I think that people are too divided right now. You know, seriously, and I don't like when the Democrats get too left, and I don't like when the Republicans get too right. You know, like.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of all the
medium ground.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people on the right that get really, you know, very conspiratorial. Well, here's the thing: there's lefties that get really conspiratorial, and then there's the hard right people get really conspiratorial on everything. But
the left is like everything's handmade still. Everything's
right, exactly. Yeah, and then it's just everything's a conspiracy. Every single thing. There's nothing that just is happening.
Yeah, but on the right, everything is communism, socialism, fascism, Marxism. Like,
yeah.
It can't be
well, you got to admit, like, okay, it's kind of weird to have like Kamala Harris's dad is a Marxist professor.
I'm not. I don't care about that part.
Well, it's kind of weird though.
I just think it is weird. Everything's weird.
And then her words match what her dad says. Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like we really have a choice in this country. We don't have like a third party, you know.
Well, they could never win. That's the problem. Here's what you'd have to do. If you wanted a third party, you'd have to get somebody in there. Like, again, I always say this guy, Mike Rowe of Dirtiest Jobs, brilliant person, great speaker, everybody likes him. If he came out there, I could see somebody like that doing it. But what's weird is the Independent Party always picks a wacko, just a crazy, weird person.
I mean, that's true, but, you know, like, what was I going to say?
Like Ron Paul.
I just wanted to call in, like, because I feel like when people shy away from joining a channel that, you know, might lean the other direction from their beliefs, and I want to represent, like, a different side and not be scared to talk about it. That's all.
Well, thank you. That's cool. Yeah,
You're welcome.
I'm not trying to run anybody off. I just, like my main thing is the media putting out false information that has sold a narrative about a person that people believed, and I think that's how the last election was affected, was the Russia collusion hoax, the Hunter Biden laptop, the bleach injection bullshit that they tried to pretend that he said, and all of these different things.
I think it was Lysol, not bleach.
No, he never even said that either. He never said that
I don't
either.
know what he said. He just said something about.
Well, right, but that's what I mean. See how you don't know what he said? I actually took the time to look.
No, I know. I would have to Google that, but you're right.
Right, I looked it all up. What he said was.
Well,
no, what he said was.
The election.
But that isn't what he
now,
said, though.
That is the same thing again.
Well, but that's not what he said. That's not what he said. All he said was. He said, yeah, they've got disinfectants out there. And he goes, God, I wonder if there's some way that you could inject somebody with, something like that. He was just asking questions. And then the media.
Speculating.
Yeah, and the media said, oh, look at that. He wants to inject people with bleach. I mean, it was just sick. And people believe that's what he said.
I mean, I'm more concerned with people around him, you know, like making him look back like Laura Loomer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I said that on my show,
you know,
on my other channel.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to call in and just, like, check in with you guys and let you know, like, hey, you know, I might lean left, but I'm hearing all sides out.
Well, cool.
You know,
there you go.
Still an undecided voter over here, so... but I did not vote for Biden, and I am not a Democrat. So I want people to learn that you can talk to a liberal, and we can make some common sense out of this. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, cool. There you go. See, everybody? It can be done. See, even though we probably didn't agree on some stuff, at least we can talk for a minute.
Yes, we can talk. Well, I'm going to let you go now. But thank you for taking my call.
You let me go. Oh, man. Okay. All right. See you later.
No, you wanted to keep me on, okay? I mean, I could stay here all night.
Well, no,
I'm kidding.
I do have other calls. But, hey, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Have a great one.
Okay, you too.
All right, bye.
All right, I got to get this thing that... Where is this? All right, here. I'm not going to get the phone. I got to do this. But, hey, you guys, we're just dead in the water here. So if you guys can help support the channel tonight, I would appreciate it. I don't know what makes it different tonight than yesterday or earlier or anything like that. It just is what it is. So what did you send me here, KK? I don't see anything. Oh, this thing? Is this her? This thing? Want to blame Trump for the second assassination on attempt? Oh, is this
streets? This is a dictator. You know, there needs to be unrest.
Oh yeah, this is what they say. So listen to this right here. Yeah, I've seen this before. This is kind of old. But what is the thing that you said just 12 minutes ago? KK up above. Is that what you sent me or what?
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
Yeah, see, they're a violent rhetoric on their side all the time. But nobody ever calls them out. Anyways, let me just keep going on this. Do I have to do like a dance a jig, or is somebody going to throw me in prison? Who's going to do it?
Go away. So I've been dealing with Russia for my entire life. You know, we had one period where it was okay, but now we've let it slip back into terrorism. So it's just the world needs to respond. You know, why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that, you know, have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable anywhere, any place, you know. So it's totally unacceptable. And why people are not responding, I do not know.
What impressed you the most since you are here?
My trip to Irpin was pretty emotional. So, you know, going and seeing the buildings that were burned and destroyed and things of that nature. I think more emotional for me is just talking to the guys that have come here. You know, when you talk to a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owns to come here and fight, that is heroism. You know, he's come here to risk his life for humanity, for the Ukrainians. You know, guys that sell everything they own to come here and support the Ukrainians while others sit at home and do nothing. You know, it's totally mind-blowing how we have this divide of people that are selfless and courageous and wonderful and willing to sell everything they own to come here and support, you know, keep people from getting killed, to shelter kids and protect Ukrainians, and others that just, you know, want to sit at home and not. It's just, you know, it's an indictment of our entire human society to say, hey, you know, where do we stand? Do we stand for good?
Looks like a meth addict.
Or do we just not care? I mean, does the world not care? That's the feeling that I wrestle with every day in my interactions with everybody. You know, every one of us is responsible for the outcome of this war. Every one of us, you know, by our actions and what we do. And, you know, when I call back home and say, hey, I need $5 so I can, you know, put enough money together to get a vest for a Ukrainian, and I get no response, I'm like, I'm not sure that the world is as wonderful as I once thought it was. I had thought that everyone would respond, you know, very generously and unselfishly, and you know, you don't have to come, but, you know, if I ask for $5 to buy a vest to save a Ukrainian life, it seems like that would be a no-brainer, but I increasingly get more disappointed
I know the
in
feeling.
humanity. And I'm beginning to question whether or not we're going to end up on the right side of this equation.
So you are working with the International Legion.
Yes.
And you are trying to convince people to help, to donate, and to join.
Yeah.
My final question is, what would you say to the people in order to convince them to join the International Legion, or to donate for it, or to be involved in the humanitarian aid to Ukraine?
Right. It's just extremely important, the whole thing. As far as joining the military, you know, yes, if you have some military experience or know people with military experience, encouraging them to come and fight. We have units all over the place. So, you know, there were some leadership issues initially, but we've got so many units available to us: Georgian, Crimean, Ukrainian, Territorial Defense, Foreign Legion. We have, you know, so many paramilitary groups. I put a 74-year-old Japanese guy in a unit. So, you know, we have girls in units. So we have two girls that are in the unit up the street. So any gender, any age, any skill level to no skill level. But yeah, if you want to fight, come here and see me, and I'll put you in a unit so you can go fight. But regardless of that, we should have thousands upon thousands of people standing here with the Ukrainians. This Maiden Square, Independence Square, we should have millions of people in this square, filling the square from every country around the world. And why we don't, I don't understand. I'm here every day with all the flags from all the supporting countries, with the memorials for the people that have died. And, you know, I've had several people come, but just a handful, you know. So it blows my mind that I'm standing here alone without thousands of people from every country, from Asia, from Africa.
Because people don't want
Australia,
war, you see. That's the thing.
Canada,
people don't want
everywhere
war.
in South America, every place. I'm
Europe.
Europe, everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is people live in their countries, and when your country isn't being attacked, so that's what makes America so, you know, like with NATO and everything, we go around and help other countries that are being attacked by somebody else, but like in general, I mean, don't you just want to be like, why do you want to go to war? You know, I guess like it's not our country. Like we're not Ukraine. That's the thing, right? I don't know if somebody was attacking our country. I feel like everybody would feel like they would want to get arms and go out and, you know, protect our country from, you know, foreign actors, right? Like the Red Dawn, for example, something like that, right? But this is like it's a foreign war, and it's something, it's been brewing for a while, and poor leadership on Biden's part is why this happened, okay? And even Obama, he's the one that let them take Crimea, and then as it festered throughout the years, as soon as Biden's absolutely horrendous withdrawal from Afghanistan showed the incompetence of the United States, that's when Putin said, let's do it. And they went in there, and all Biden could say is, don't. Well, okay, don't again. Don't again. All right, well, don't now, though. Okay, don't this time, then. It's disgusting. Ridiculous. Now, let me get this one. Hello, who's this?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, hey, who's this?
This is Steve Will Not Do It. I'm Steve Will Do It's broke cousin.
Oh, cool. What's going on?
So he got the money, I got the good looks, what they say. But
all right.
I just wanted to add something. I was just watching some old videos yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how backwards you have to be for a politician to stand at a podium and talk about, we brought 100,000 Haitians in because they needed help and support, and we're compassionate Americans, and people are like, oh God, I wish I could go vote for her today. It's like, could you imagine? I mean, the Haitians, man, she helped the Haitians. I mean,
well, you know what's
it's
crazy?
in the name, America. You know, help Americans.
Right. Yeah. Well, the thing is, they flew in Haitians, so they're not illegal. I guess, you know, technically they're not illegal aliens, but they're people who otherwise would be. I mean, you know, they just sort of flew them in,
right? And
they flew like 15,000. I don't know what it was, like 10,000 to that small little town in, where was it?
Springfield.
Yeah. And this town had less than that number, I think, that lived there, maybe. And so all of a sudden you just, I don't know if it was less or not, but, you know, a small, it's a huge influx, you know.
It's worse than people imagine. I go every summer to visit my dad in Minnesota. I live in Alabama. I make the drive every summer. The town he lives in, my whole life, the population's fluctuated up and down, but it's always been between 1,000 and 1,200. All of a sudden, not this past summer, but last summer, they got a new sign. The population's 2,100 people, Somalians. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they're doing this all over. They're putting the Somalians in Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota is really the base for almost 95% of the United States Somalian population lives in Minnesota.
Yes, I mean, it's like, I bet you it's 65% Somalian now. I mean, first of all, Minnesotans are leaving to get away from 10 walls.
Yeah, and what's weird about that is when, so for example, in certain towns that are mainly Somalian, won't they be electing Somalian mayors and etc. And you know, then that'll bring in sort of the cultural elements that are.
Oh, and it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people that don't believe that are kooky, because it's just a matter. The only reason it's not happening right now is because it's literally a cultural shift. It takes a decade. I mean,
yeah, it's scary.
You know, we brought in the Haitians. She said this. People applauded her. They're like, "Oh, you're the best," you know. And then what about Trump's not lowering your taxes? Trump's lowering taxes on what the top 50%.
He lowered it on everybody. he lowered everybody's taxes.
Top 50% of income makers are getting 90% of the cuts. Well, that's because the bottom 50% have never paid a penny in taxes in this country.
Yeah, but even the people that are paying taxes, he cut their taxes too. So he cut everybody's. You know, that's the thing.
See, he doesn't. It doesn't say in his plan cut the all across the board, just top 50%, but they pay 100% of the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. What's half a zero? You cut the zero in half, and they still pay zero.
Right.
See, people get confused because they work menial jobs. They have kids with 2 or 3 different fathers, and they sit around and they pay $800 all year in taxes, and then they get a $12,000 refund.
Yeah,
and
okay,
so
bonus.
They're going to vote for Kamala Harris, right? Because now you're going to get a $15,000 refund off of the $900 in taxes you pay.
Yeah,
it's like
the freebies.
You know.
See, I think I always look at it like this. The Republican Party would be the party of teach somebody how to fish and they'll eat for a lifetime, where the Democratic Party is, hey, here's some fish. Go ahead and eat it. We'll just keep giving you fish.
You know, I raised 2 kids as a single parent, no help. Of course, I never got $1. You can't get a court date if you're a father. You know, a judge will look you right in the eye in Alabama and say, "You got your kids, right? Yeah, well, be happy, sir. Go home." You know, it's like, you get a little help? No. It just, this country is 95% down the shithole. And Trump is literally like trying to grab the string before it disappears. And that's the way I view it.
I do
and
too.
Anybody that wants to argue it, it's like, if you own a company and you want to hire somebody, you got 2 candidates. One candidate made their entire life on your field, and it's all they got, and they're trying to make as much as they can. And the other candidate knows everything about your field, but they don't really need the job. They just really want to help your company. You find out that guy won the lottery, he's worth $1 billion, you know, you're hiring that guy.
Yeah.
You always hire the guy that wants it and doesn't need it. I mean, it's just, you know. And then the last thing I was going to say is, you know, then Kamala says she's going to do this 50,000 tax break for business owners. Well, I am a business owner, and you know what that $50,000 tax break would have done for me? Nothing in the first 4.5 years, because I lost money. I mean, she really thinks in her brain. I think there's a brain.
Well, she doesn't think anything that she's saying. She's told to say those things. She doesn't even know what she's talking about. Honestly.
People believe, like, this 50,000 tax cut to start a new business. We're going to be able to, well, how's that going to help you start a business? You don't need a $50,000 tax cut. You need a bank to loan you $100,000. Or else no business. You know, you don't make money. You know, I started making money like 7 years ago. I've been doing it for just shy of 12 years, a month shy of 12 years. I mean, that's the way it works. I delivered pizza at night. I hated my life. I was miserable. I wanted to give up.
And then?
I don't know. I wonder about the mental stability of a person that just like can't wait. I just wish I could vote for her today. She helped all those poor Haitians. How does that mean so much to you? Maybe it's me, you know.
Yeah, well, it's just all about future votes. They're not doing it for any kind of like altruistic reasons or anything like that. It's all just to sort of bring in, and you notice how they never put the people where their sort of rich donors live. Like, that's why it was so great when the Florida
They put
governor,
them in swing states.
yeah, DeSantis, he sent that whole busload up to Martha's Vineyard, and they're the ones that are like, oh, everybody, oh, we're so open, we're just, yes, we believe in, we're sanctuaries and all. And as soon as they got there, within 24 hours, they were all shipped out because they didn't want them where they were, as long as they're where everybody else is. So that was such a great, by DeSantis, the left always says, oh, that was a mean thing to do, that was like, but what it really did was point out the hypocrisy again to the reality. So what's great is like Texas and everybody is shipping busloads and truckloads to all around the country, because why should they burden the brunt of all of the illegal aliens coming over the border? Why should they? I mean, there's no answer. Nobody can answer.
You know, if I'm running a state as a governor, or if I'm running a city as a mayor, what have you, I know the problems in my area. I don't have probably the funds or the budget to help the Americans here that need help. Veterans. I mean, especially with the economy the way it is. I mean, it used to be in this country, if a guy was homeless, you made a lot of bad decisions, sir. I still have sympathy for you, but you made a lot of bad decisions. And the economy now is like, you could make one or two not great decisions and be out there. And it's like, bring more bodies in from other continents. That's the fix, it's, I think people don't have brains, they think Democrat is like compassion, right?
Yeah, except when it affects them,
Least compassionate people I've ever known.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean,
if they were compassionate, they wouldn't let the coyotes come over with all the. I guess there's something like, what is it, 3,000 or 3,000 children missing, or even bigger than that. That's a huge number that have come over the border, probably put into some sort of. It's just. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares, They just, whoever wins.
We are, by the grace of God, that we still have Donald Trump with us right now.
Twice. Yeah.
I mean, it's just literally by the grace of God, and that's the only reason I'm still staying positive, is because every time I think positivity's gone, it's like something shows you, I think there is a God, and this is predestined, and we might go to the brink, and that might be a part of it, right? Go to the brink and see if you really got faith. And
yeah, I don't know.
And to me, without Trump at the head of that movement, nobody has the guts to keep the faith.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's the only one that really would want to like clean house and try to get things to a. Because we were always talking about like, I think it'd be amazing if we had Elon Musk do the thing where he tries to, get our government under control by removing all the waste. Yes, people would lose their jobs, but they would work somewhere else, somewhere in the world. In the country.
Well, lose a government job, right?
Right, they'll lose a government job, but that just means we save the taxpayers $85 to like $200,000 per person, basically, because of all the retirement.
Whatever field you're in, the government version of it is the bottom of the barrel. I wish people understood that too.
Yeah.
It's just, besides, of course, benefits, right? Early retirement, probably those two things. But as far as pay, you're almost giving yourself away when you take the government job.
But they always say, well, the government jobs get paid. They get paid pretty well, but especially not police or firemen, those kind. Just the regular, like a normal job. You're going to make $70 to $90, $100,000 a year, something like that. So they don't pay too bad. But they always say, whenever there's like a budget situation, they say, well, unfortunately, we can only have only essential employees will be working today. And then I always say, what does that even mean? Why are there other people other than essential employees ever working? You know what I mean?
If you're not essential, we can't afford you.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Like, why are they there, those people? You know? But anyways.
That's what I'm going to say. When the guys get here in the morning on the job site, I'm going to say, bring me the essential hammer.
Yeah.
And bring me only the essential nails.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, you know, it's, I don't know, you know, and then somebody told me yesterday, like, trans rights. I'm like, well, thank the Lord that cross-dressers can live their life and possibly scar my daughter. I mean, do you even know one? He's like, well, not personally, you know, but it's just what's right is right, Steve, and what's wrong is wrong. These are the answers you get from them, you know, and I don't understand what's so hard with be who you want to be, and I'll love you and support you, but just keep it to yourself.
Right, exactly.
What was wrong with that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like my brother does drugs, and most people don't know it because it's embarrassing to him, and he doesn't want them to know it, and I don't blame him.
Right.
And I think that's fair. But somewhere along the lines, this group of people lost the embarrassment and just went full-on wacko. And
all the way to competing in sports, all the way. Yeah.
And I know this is my calls sounding real political, but it all, you know, I'm trying to get to like these shootings it's almost like you know, shooting Donald Trump is the sport, and you got cheerleaders almost cheering you along to get to the end zone, right? And then they'll talk out of both sides of their mouth, Gray, you know, like, oh, these things are terrible, and we can't stand for this in this country.
Right.
But he's evil. I just wish
right.
Trump would say, I wish you people would quit calling me Stalin and Hitler. Like I'm Genghis Khan, MFers. You know, it's just, that's about all I got. You know, I'm not complaining, but I'm going to hang in there, brother, and see
what happens.
You know, but yeah, I think the string is just slipping away, and Trump's the only one trying to grab it. And of course, you know how it works. People will find out too late. And it is what it is. But this is the greatest country ever. And I don't ever see a country ever being better than this one.
Yeah.
And why flush it down the toilet?
That's true.
It's such a waste. I
agree. But hey, hang in there, man. Everything will be good. All right?
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I'm hanging drywall all night, so I'm just gonna go back to listening, and you know, I appreciate you, man. As always, I'll send you a few more bucks here shortly.
That's okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. I'm turning off the number. But yeah, you guys, what's going on tonight? Just dead as a doornail. You guys are usually helping support the channel. I got thrown in prison by a super chat, and not one of you bailed me out. What's going on there, you guys? What's going on? Pretty disappointing. That's usually one of our fundraiser moments to try to get back on track, and none of you. Wow, weird.
We need everybody here. You know, if you have no skills, just come. You know, we need to be cheerleaders. Just being here and saying, hey, I support the Ukrainians, and I support human rights, and I support good and generosity and caring and kindness.
And I don't think it has anything to do with Bidenomics.
You know, we need to show the world that we care, and it's essential. You know, if you don't do any work at all, just being here and supporting and showing them that we care for.
I mean, does this guy, let me ask you something. If you looked at this guy, does he look like somebody who's going to go out there and try to rally up troops to go fight in Ukraine? No, he looks like a hard lefty guy that would hang out on a commune somewhere. He even talks a little bit like them, except he's so far left that he's way far right too, and they're merging. So then he's like, "Hey, you need to come over and battle and attack and fight." It's so weird. Look at him. Look at this guy. It's weird listening to him. He doesn't sound at all like somebody that would do this stuff.
Our fellow human beings.
But anyways, I'm gonna get going, you guys.
The most important thing we can do.
Start editing a little bit, get moving. So anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you to Peggy Day and Karen, Gifted5, and then we also had Sin O, Kathy Fredmaker, You Know They Exist, Karen. Let's see. Roosevelt Media News, Leslie Brigham, Karen, Susan Chamberlain, Lisa Valenzuela, Ray, Michelle H, You're in Big Trouble, Nate Campbell, Ivan Victor, M. Jordan Jarding, M22, K. Me, True Crime Nut, then Ivan Victor, probably a third of the whole show. Ivan Victor again, Ivan Victor, Steve Will Not Do It. Oh, that's what Nate Campbell, E.I. Rule, Valerie, and Nate Campbell. All right. Let's see. So, I don't know. I was thinking of coming on and doing the audio for the in the Stephen Stearns case, but I don't think so. Forget it. What's on the PM? You keep sending stuff. Why do I need to look at it? You don't tell me. You send me PMs and you want me to read it, but you don't say what I'm getting out of it. I don't even know what you're reading here. Oh, that is a whole different thing here. Okay, let's look at it. All right, let's see. Ukraine, unwinnable war, the fatal flaw of democracy, world abandonment, and global citizen Taiwan, Afghanistan, North Korea, and the end of humanity. So I guess that was written by Ryan Routh, it says right there. It says, against U.S. sanctions, I would like to celebrate the amazing work of John Kerry, a Democrat, that very humbly and humanely handled the Iran deal. Total bullshit. That did not work at all, which elated me and the whole of the world. I must take part of the blame for the retarded child that we elected for our next president that ended up being brainless. Yeah, because he voted for him. But I am man enough to say that I misjudged and made a terrible mistake, and Iran, I apologize. You are free to look at that right there, to take him out, as well as me for that error in judgment and the as well as me. Okay, meaning they could take him out. The dismantling of the deal. No one here in the U.S. seems to have the balls to put natural selection to work, or even unnatural selection. See, there you go. So he is acting out. That's crazy, though. So this is a book that he wrote? I mean, that's absolutely nuts. Yeah. Wow. Anyways, thank you for those who were able to help and those who being here, for hit the like button, etc., etc. I guess not all nights can be the same. It's just weird. It's just difficult. You know, you try to work hard, you come on and do your shows, and you got a lot of people watching, and none of them, very few, decide to help. Oh well, life is life, I guess. Newspapers from the 1870s, the socialists are committing violence again in India. I have no idea what that even means. It's the one that's for sale on Amazon that I told you I could. I don't even know what you're talking about, KK. I've never heard you say anything about told me I could find, etc. The New York Times interviewed him. Sucks we had that stupid. Yeah. Alright, anyways, that's it, you guys. I was thinking about coming on later, but I don't think so. I was going to do the audio, but maybe I'll just do it tomorrow or something. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. Been a long day, tired. Sorry for all the political talk on this channel, but that's just kind of the way it is, you know. Especially when you have a shooting again. Okay, we were kind of over, you know, we were waiting for the final reports, back onto normal stuff, but then today, not. But I don't know if I'm going to just keep, you know, if there's something new, I'll bring it up. I mean, that's pretty interesting that he wrote a book mentioning that. Isn't it? I wonder where he got that AK-47. Did he call Iran and say, hey, I'm here. Can you guys hook me up? Because it's in his book. Is that what happened in this one? Interesting. Hey, thanks Angela, Alex, and Jay Reen at the buzzer. Yeah, well, send me the link to it, Plato. Maybe I should order that one. He's not going to get it. Maybe email me the link to it. Alright, anyways, thanks to everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Alright, thank you all for your generosity and keeping this channel moving. If I combine the two shows, not too bad, not too bad. Although, many, many hours of shows. Like 6. I will. Blues seems like he's moving around a little bit.
Crime thing
That's
for
pretty
quite
good.
a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person.
Not even one?
Not even one.
Crime dissector,
a threat projector, I'm a certified human lie detector.
Gonna get ya on a stretcher
If you try and play me like a projector, crime sector
is my nectar. Professor Gregel's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, Elmer is gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, Elmino then a speckle with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. Alright, everybody? Talk to you.